Hello there, welcome to Picture This New Media. My name is Halal Ernie, and today we are going to be going over the new Comic Book Day haul for July the 26th, 2023. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this first row right here. I know my head's a little bit in the way, but it's whatever. We're gonna have to deal with it. Um, this first row, I'm going to pass on everything but Venom. Venom issue number 23. I still like it. It's still going strong. The writing's a little, but it's a lot better than the other Venom comic books out right now. A lot of the comic books right now with Venom in it and Carnage, their words are a little PG-13, PG even. Not very adult friendly as you would expect from a Venom, Carnage, especially Carnage type of comic book. But can't be too picky. It is Marvel in 2023, so we'll take what we can get as gritty as it can get, without the editors messing with it. But yeah, Venom is great. Spider-Man hard pass, Wolverine hard pass, She-Hulk hard pass. Ultimate Invasion. This might be good with the comic book series, but I'll say proceed with caution. Night Terrors by DC Comics. This one is the overall tie-in to what's going on in this whole Night Terrors universe, so I definitely recommend it. It's one of the more psychological thrillers type things going on right now with DC Comics, and there's a lot of them getting tied into one another. A lot of characters, and yeah, it's pretty interesting. I like it. I haven't read number one, but I have the Batman version of the Night Terrors. It's really cool. Great art too. The Incredible Hulk issue number 2, hard pass. Deadpool. I'll say proceed with caution on this one, but it might be worth it. World Tree, I highly recommend. It's a very very dark book, but it's really interesting too. Give you a little preview. There's the undernet, as you could have imagined. And now the life of one of his closest friends hangs in the balance, and whoever that is winning. So it doesn't give much here. Let me go to number 1. Discovered the undernet, a secret architecture of the internet. They charted their exploration, so it's a sci-fi thriller that's gotten, yeah, I completely forgot what this is about. Woohoo! Yeah, I highly recommend this one. Very dark, very gritty, very scary, very sci-fi. Love it. Next up is the Invincible Iron Man. If you're an Iron Man fan, you might like this one, but I'm gonna skip it. Batman, the Brave and Bold. I haven't heard anything really on this one, so I can't say. Next up is X-Men Hellfire Gala, whatever. The fall of X begins here. Why didn't see, they're already getting rid of X-Men. That's the name. It's got a decent writer, I guess. I don't know. Looks like there's way too many hands-on. So it looks like a lot of Looks like Kamala's in here. Yep. Yeah. Hard pass. Next up is Monstrous. I highly recommend this one. Very great fantasy. I don't even know how to describe it, but it's absolutely beautiful art. Great imagery, great storyline. A little hard to follow, but once you understand the gist of what's going on, it's smooth sailing. Next up is Night Terrors Detective Comics. Looks like the Nightmares even doing their one-shot type things, multi-story ones, because there it is in Action Comics. Got Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red. Another bunch of mini stories gathered together. Night Terrors Titans. If you're a Teen Titan fan person, you might like this one. This Night Terrors is really cool. I like it. Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor. I didn't see that. $6.99. It's a little bit expensive. Wow, the reviews are bumping. So if you are a Superman fan, get this one. It is a black label piece, so you know that it's going to be good. So yeah, I highly recommend this one. I'm not a Superman fan, but I am definitely going to put it on my want and pull list. If I have money left over, I'm going to possibly, I'll check it out. Next up is Scorched by Image Comics. It's your tag team of anti-heroes going to save the world in their own special messed up way. Followed by Hollow's Eve from Marvel Comics. This is for Image. I'm gonna skip this one, but it seems that girls really like this comic book. So if you're a girl and you like comic books, this one might be, I don't know, might be something to look into. It seems to have a big female audience. Next up is Night Terrors Harley Quinn. Even though I used to be a Harley Quinn fan, I'm gonna hard pass on this one with the Night Terrors. Even though it's a Night Terrors one, I don't know. Next up is Silk by Marvel Comics. I highly recommend this one. I am just a Silk simp, so yeah, take that with a grain of salt. I know that the writing is bad in this, and sometimes the art can be really bad, but so far so good. I actually really like the first 2 issues of this, so yeah, there's that. Next up is Cosmic Ghost Rider issue number 5. I've heard some mixed reviews on this one. It's no reviews lately, but yeah, it's been hit or miss with that one. Rogue Sun by Image Comics. I do recommend this one. The son is taking over the father's role, and seems to me he's 14 issues in and doing a good job of it. So yeah, I haven't kept up with it. Definitely get the trade paperback of this one. It is worth it. Next up is Daredevil and Echo, hard pass. Firepower, I do recommend to old school fans. Get the trade paperback if you are interested. Check out the number 1 if you're interested. Because we got a long way to go. It's issue 25 to know what's going on. What if Spider-Gwen Dark? Spider legend Gary Conway returns with a famous spider story. What if, along co-writer Jody? What if good lord, what if Gwen Stacy didn't die on that bridge that day? but Spider-Man did. Enough said, I presume. Ooh. Ooh. Spoiler alert. Hard pass. Not going to get. Looks dumb. Next up is Batman Beyond Neo Gothic. I don't know. Looks kind of lame. Terry McGinnis defeated an evil AI controlling Neo Gotham and asserted himself as one of the true Batman, but his next battle will bring him to remains of old Gotham. Children are going missing and being swallowed by the old city's bones. Batman Beyond will have to go underground, led by a mysterious splicer named Kyle Catboy. Kyle the Catboy to find the children and confront the city's buried sins. I don't know. It seems like new readers of Batman might like this, but old school readers might hate it. Maybe hate's a strong word. But, sorry, I'm trying to find my old Pepsi, or my new Pepsi. I don't know. Let's see who the writer is. I like this guy, but he's just a letterer. I'll put it on the want list. So, something to definitely check out later, but not really looking to get it. Next up is Cult of Carnage Misery, issue number 3. Highly recommend. It's like I said, the writing's a little PG-13, PG-esque, but it's a little safe. But it's not that bad. The story is really cool, really cool. If you can get past the dialogue, which I know is a big ask, then yeah, I don't know. You'll like this. Good lord, I'm not prepared for this live stream. Next up is Storm, issue number 3. I'm gonna pass, followed by Night Terror's Angel Breaker. That one looks really cool. Just judging by the excuse me a second, guys. I found what I need. Alright, judging by the cover itself, I don't know who Angel Breaker is, but yeah, looks very interesting. Next up is Newburn by Image Comics. I do recommend this one by Chip Zdarsky fans. It's really cop spy-esque type thing. Not bad, but I fell behind. Not gonna lie. Next up is Ghost Rider, Danny Ketch. I do recommend this one to Ghost Rider fans. It's really neat. Followed by Mark Miller's Nightclub from Miller World. It's a special double-sized finale. It's the last of this series. Recommend the whole thing. Hopefully they come out with the trade paperback to collect. I'm gonna pass on all these except for the Bone Orchard Mythos Tenement. If that one is available, I will get it. Pretty interesting comic. Very dark. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Spider-Man India, hard pass. Mandalorian, The Mandalorian Season 2. It's the exact copy of The Mandalorian. Just watch it. I Am Iron Man, Hard Pass, Berserker, Poetry of Madness. I didn't notice this one. So this is, I'm guessing, is a part 2. I haven't caught up with the last series, so I'm definitely gonna pull this one. Keanu Reeves is a writer, along with Steve Scorsese, and the colorist David Storr and Ed Dukeshire. Here's the artist. Yeah, highly recommend this one. But it does not look like there's going to be a lot of excitement for this. Next up is The Dead Lucky. I'm gonna hard pass on that one. One of the Image Comics failures. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Usagi Yojimbo, When and Where. I highly recommend it to both fans of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Usagi Yojimbo. My comic book shop didn't keep up with it for the buyers, so I'm gonna wait till the trade paperback comes out. Pass on these. Indigo Children, same thing. My comic book shop hasn't kept up with it, but I highly recommend it. Old Dog, same thing. Seasons Have Teeth, same thing. I recommend all 3 of these. Really good series. Highly recommend it. Psychological thriller, old cop story, and psychological horror story. Scar, Disney's Villains by Dynamite Entertainment. I recommend this one. I'm gonna pull it if I see it. There's a lot of them, though, and you get a lot of cover variants. Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, issue number 6 by Dark Horse Comics. They are a lot better than Marvel's, especially the artwork. The artwork kills, but the stories, they do fall flat. They do fall flat. I'm not gonna lie. They are a mixture of old and new, and yeah, take these with a grain of salt. You might like some, you might hate some issues. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Saturday morning cartoons. This is more if you want to get your kids into comic books, or if you're just a hardcore fan of them. Not really for the adults. So, The Neighbors, issue number 5 is it's got a decent story, but they're really pushing the woke agenda in this one, and it's a little silly, like it didn't have to be. Poison Ivy Uncovered, issue number 1. The gallery. It's a gallery. Okay. I don't know. Well, maybe it's not a gallery. So, looks like there's a story with bad dialogue. I'm gonna skip it. Not really a Poison Ivy fan. But I don't know. It might be okay for Poison Ivy simps, but it's not really. It doesn't look like people like it very much. Batman: The Audio Adventures. I heard that one was actually doing really good. Alice Never After by Boom Studios. Alice finally got her wish. Wonderland has become her new home, but the abuser's avatar with uncanny grin, turning the mad residents of a moonstruck world against her. She's clawing for a little rationality amongst the chaos. As Alice's sister Edith from her childhood friend Earl fight her way to bring her back, Alice is to contend with whether or not her torment is due to her father, herself, or maybe a curious combination of both. Definitely looks worth it. I'm gonna pull it. Hopefully it's there. Looks really, really interesting. Looks a little meant for the ladies though, but we'll see. Dynamite 007, The King and Country. I'm gonna pass on that one. I'm not really into the 007 comic book series. Click Click Boom by Image Comics. It didn't capture me. I'm not interested. The Expanse Dragon Tooth by Boom Studios, issue number 4. Looks interesting enough, but I'm gonna pass on that. DC Ruby, DC Connect. I'm gonna skip on these. Justice League, Godzilla, King Kong. It looks interesting, but it's just, I don't know. I think this is just a magazine. DC and Ruby, hard pass. Blade Runner 2039, hard pass. I don't know who this lady is. Red Room, Crypto Killers by Fantagraphics. It's a really crazy black and white horror comic. Not really my cup of tea, but I will recommend it to the horror fans. Dead by Daylight, issue number 2. I think it's a video game comic book, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna skip it. Frank Frazetta's Mothman, issue number 2. Great artwork, interesting story, horror comic mixed with some fantasy elements. I highly recommend it. Nightwalkers, issue number 5 by Source Point Press. I recommend that one. It's a great horror comic. Source Point Press does some great horror mature comics meant for adults. Traveling to Mars, issue number 7 by Ablaze Publishing. Great artwork, but a dumb story. Hard pass. Elvira in Monsterland. Not really an Elvira fan, so hard pass. Grim Fairy Tales. They're pretty good. If you want to see a bunch of pretty women and doing some crazy stuff and fantasy elements, they have stories from the Brothers Grimm that they elevate to a whole another level. So yeah, I'll recommend this one. Per Evil miniseries premiere. Rita loves her new daughter Deb, but a dark evil from her past threatens the lives of anyone who gets too close. It can be the bond between two women, overcome a life built on blood and lies, and the secret lurking in Miranda's family apartment. Looks interesting, but it's not for me. Definitely not for me. I'm gonna skip it. Looks like, I don't know, Image Comics, this is a far past from what you normally do, but I could see who they're meant for. Next up is Ribbon Queen by AWA. I noticed that they stopped working with Upshot, so that's interesting. NYPD, there's something ancient and terrible loose in the world of men, sometimes something that hates them with a burning passion, that bears grudge born of 10,000 years ago. Something wants its revenge. NYPD Detective Amy Sun has a problem. 3 years ago, a young woman was rescued from a serial killer by a police tactical unit. Now she's dead, and Amy has a bad feeling that the SWAT team leader is responsible. Ooh. As she investigates the existence of corrupt cabal within her own precinct, the Detective Sun soon discovers that there is something else on her trail, a force of vengeance older than the human race itself. It is awoken and invoked the torment and murder of the victim weeks before she died. Wow, that sounds cool. Sounds really cool. I think I'm going to get it. Next up is, I'm going to skip these one. Creed, not interested in. Vampirella versus the Superpowers, I'm going to get if my comic book shop has it. I do recommend Nottingham, but my comic book shop doesn't carry it anymore. Deja Thoris, I recommend for fantasy elements as well. It's really interesting, space alien fights, and this queen along with John Carter of Mars, her lover, murdered by a male. image or by Source Point Press. It has to do with Cleaver County. It's an interactive role-playing experience. That sounds interesting. I'll put it on my want and pull list, but I don't think I'm going to get it this time. Keep it in the back of my mind. Hunt, Kill, Repeat, Hard Pass, Battle for the Pumpkin King by Tokyo Pop. I do recommend. Curse of Cleaver County, I do recommend as well. Space Outlaws by Scout Comics, most dangerous. Criminal in the Solar System, F2, 24K, prisoner has escaped from maximum security prison in Mars. It looks and sounds silly. Not for me, especially for $6.99. Wild Cause by the Horns, I do recommend. Really great comic book. Pathfinder, Wake of the Dead, I do recommend as well, by Dynamite Entertainment. Monomyth by Mad Cave Studios. I saw that one, it came out pretty good, pretty strong, but I don't know, it's doing alright. The Savage Strength of Starstrom, hard pass on that one. Victory, I do highly recommend it, by Dynamite Entertainment. The Vampirella, I think she's an enemy of Vampirella. Kitsune, I do recommend. A really cool, like Lone Ranger Bunny type thing. Children of the Comet by Sumerian Comics. There's the description. It does look really interesting, so I will put this in the pull list, and I'm not sure if I'll pick it up this time. I'm a little short on money, so that's why I'm not choosing a lot of them, but this one definitely on my pull list for the future. Where are we? Godzilla, Monsters and Protectors. This is for kids. If you want to get your kids into comic books, it's a one-shot. $6-7. If you're a Godzilla fan and you want to get your kids into Godzilla, I highly recommend this one. $7. It'll be worth it to get your kids into comic books. Exorcist Never Die, hard pass. The Gimmick by Ahoy Comics, I'm gonna pass on that. Deep Dark, I'm gonna pass, but it looks pretty interesting. The Wild Cosmos by Image Comics, Scout Comics. Captain Cooper and his crew struggle to stay afloat the Wild Cosmos, but after finding a derelict space station, they have a chance at a big score. The captain makes a call. They're going after the dangerous loot, and we'll have to live. I'm going to do a hard pass. That one looks not to my liking. Count Dante, I do recommend this from Scout Comics. It's pretty good. The Necronomicon by Zenscope. It's $9. I'm gonna do a hard pass, but it might be worth it. It might be worth it to some people, especially if you love the Necronomicon and Henry Lovecraft and all that stuff. If I had the money, I would definitely get this one. Charm City by Scout Comics. Baltimore City police are baffled when a Ravens cheerleader is found floating in the Inner Harbor. This sounds more for like true crime people, teenage women, or girls and women in their 20s. I'll recommend it for them, but it's definitely not for me. Got the mental illness haircut going on there. not for me for sure. Summoner's War Awakening. If you're into the anime and the whole magical creature summoning thing, you'll like this one. D&D people might like this one as well. Tarkovi, a Slovenian thug in Edmonton, Canada, tries to put his criminal past behind him, but there are those who know where the bodies are buried and who refuse to allow the dead to rest in peace. Sounds really interesting. I will recommend it to murder mystery comic book fans. It's by Scout Comics and it's a mature reader's one, so it should be good. I actually looked forward to getting the trade paperback of this one because I like getting trade paperback of Scout Comics instead of the full issues. It costs a lot. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Amnesiacs. Amnesiacs began where the original first comic and film ended. This is the $10 cover. This definitely looks worthy of getting. I recommend it to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans for sure. Highly recommend this one. I'm not going to get it, but definitely made for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fans. Hope by Source Point Press. Julie Lavalle's superhero identity has been revealed. Her daughter has been taken from her, and now her home has been destroyed, and she finds herself the target of villains and the media alike. Now her husband is awakening from a coma, but will things get better for worse? This definitely sounds like a female superhero type thing. Not for me. The art looks not the greatest. Very dull, cheap, boring. I'm gonna pass on this one. Franklin and Ghosts, I do highly recommend this one. It's funnier. My Little Pony Boot Camp, I don't even have to say. Talon, Seed of Darkness by Scout Comics. Nonstop. Rulers of Vlad. So this is better to get in the trade paperback form, but let's see. They're bent on exterminating the witches, whom they blame for spreading the bubonic plague as the Black Death. Known as the Black Death, they pursue the witch queen, Aradia, the last survivor. While seeking refuge, Aradia buries the bloody seed of darkness. This actually sounds really good. I'm gonna put it on my want and pull list. I'm not gonna get this nonstop one. I'm gonna wait till the trade paperback comes out for sure and get that. None of these show up in my comic book shop. I don't know anything about Miracle Kingdom. Tales of Volcania, I highly recommend. Rebel Girls by Keen Spot. Curse of Power to resurrect the dead through music. It's a girl band thing. I'm gonna skip that. Not recommended to anybody in my viewers, my YouTube viewers. And that's gonna do it here. I am sorry that was kind of fast and dull and boring, but there's a lot to go through today, and I had very little time. But I hope you get a good idea of what's coming out. I'll re-look at Children of Comet. Let me see. 10 years after the events follow Sage. This is from the world of You Promised Me in Darkness. The children of the comet live in a prosperously in the new Colismo. Jesus. But one day before the birth of Miracle, the daughter of Sage, and of Versa, new threats appear, and the children of the comet must go. into action. Satanists, psychedelic dimensions, chihuahuas that shoot laser beams from their eyes, a deadly villain who wakes up after many years of being asleep, and many oddities. Welcome back to Kalismo, where everything is weird. So that sounds really good on its own. Sounds like you have a lot to read before. I did read that You Promised Me Darkness series, but I guess I'm gonna have to reread it again because I don't remember a lot of it. Yeah, I'll recommend this one. Keep it going. So yeah, that's gonna do it here for this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Assalamu alaikum. Have a great day. Catch y'all later.